A dangerous and potentially historic severe weather outbreak is now unfolding across the United States. The next 3 days will bring a prolonged and life-threatening stretch of storms, tornadoes, and giant hail across a large portion of the country. Everyone living in the central, southern, and eastern United States needs to stay alert and prepared. The storm threat begins today across the southern and central plains. A moderate risk of severe weather, level 4 out of 5 on the severe weather scale, has been issued for portions of Oklahoma, including areas just southeast of Oklahoma City. An enhanced risk covers Tulsa and the Oklahoma City metro area. A slight risk extends into Wichita, Kansas, Dallas-Fort Worth, and Shreveport, Louisiana. A marginal threat stretches from Nebraska all the way south into parts of Texas. Every category of severe weather hazard is on the table today. Damaging wind gusts between 55 and 70 miles per hour are possible during the afternoon and evening hours. Though winds are not the primary danger today, the biggest immediate concern is hail. And not just any hail. Forecasters are warning of hailstones potentially exceeding 4 inches in diameter. That is larger than a softball. Areas south and east of Oklahoma City, as well as the Dallas-Fort Worth region, face the highest risk of this extreme hail. Vehicles, rooftops, and anything left outdoors are at serious risk of significant damage. A significant tornado threat also exists today. The atmospheric setup is highly favorable, with strong wind shear supporting the development of powerful rotating thunderstorms. At least a few tornadoes are likely, and an intense or even violent tornado cannot be ruled out. Residents across Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas, and Arkansas must have a plan in place and be ready to take shelter quickly. Storms are expected to begin developing later this afternoon, around 4 to 5 p.m. local time, with rapid intensification expected by early evening. Supercells capable of producing both giant hail and strong tornadoes will likely form from Kansas down into Texas. As the evening progresses, some storm clusters may evolve into more wind-producing systems, but hail and isolated tornadoes will remain possible through the overnight hours. Tomorrow, the severe weather threat does not let up. It shifts and continues. Another significant severe weather day is expected across the central and southern plains on Sunday. An enhanced risk has been issued for Wichita, Kansas, Kansas City, and parts of southern Nebraska. A slight risk covers areas from Oklahoma City into northwest Kansas and southwestern Iowa, with a marginal threat extending into the deep south. All hazards will again be possible on Sunday. Large to very large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes are all expected. Some storms could produce hailstones up to baseball size. The particular concern on Sunday is the potential for discrete supercells, isolated powerful storms that are especially efficient at producing strong and potentially long-track tornadoes. Storm chasers and meteorologists will be watching this setup very closely throughout the day. Sunday morning may bring lingering storm activity across parts of the south before a lull develops. By afternoon, storms are expected to redevelop across Kansas, initially producing large hail before the tornado threat increases. By Sunday evening, the activity will push toward Kansas City, gradually transitioning toward a wind and hail threat as the storm mode evolves. By Monday, the focus of the outbreak shifts east into the Midwest and the Mississippi River Valley, and this may be the most dangerous day of the entire stretch. A major severe weather outbreak is expected, and this could become one of the worst severe weather days of 2026 so far. An enhanced risk has been issued from Des Moines, Iowa, into the lower Mississippi Valley. A slight risk zone extends from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, all the way south to Memphis, Tennessee. The sheer geographic scale of this threat is remarkable. Widespread damaging winds, large hail, and multiple tornadoes are all expected on Monday. Some of those tornadoes could be strong or long track, meaning they may stay on the ground for extended distances. The tornado threat may stretch across an enormous area, from Wisconsin in the north all the way south into Louisiana and Texas, and east into parts of Kentucky and Tennessee. The atmosphere on Monday will support both isolated supercells capable of producing long-track tornadoes and large organized storm lines that carry widespread damaging winds and embedded tornadoes within them. This dual threat makes Monday particularly dangerous because the hazards will be spread across a very wide area and could affect millions of people. Storm development on Monday may begin as early as midday, with supercells forming by early afternoon. Any isolated supercell that develops could have the potential to produce a significant tornado. By mid to late afternoon, storm activity is expected to become much more widespread, with the primary damaging wind threat becoming a major concern, especially across Illinois and surrounding states. The danger on Monday will not end at sunset. Severe weather, including nighttime tornadoes and damaging winds, is expected to continue well into the evening and overnight hours across Kentucky and Tennessee. Nighttime tornadoes are especially dangerous because they are harder to see and give people less time to react. Residents in these areas must have weather alerts active on their phones and a plan in place before going to sleep. Storm activity could persist into Tuesday morning across portions of the southeast. The overall pattern is not expected to relax quickly after this outbreak, and additional rounds of severe weather are possible across the southern plains and the Mississippi Valley later in the week. There is also the potential for storm activity to reach the East Coast before the week is over. This is not a storm system to take lightly. The combination of violent tornadoes, giant hail, and widespread damaging winds across such a large geographic area over 3 consecutive days makes this one of the most significant severe weather outbreaks of the year so far. U.S. Storm Center urges everyone across the affected regions to take this threat seriously. Download a reliable weather app and make sure severe weather alerts are enabled on your phone. Know where your nearest shelter is, whether that is a basement, an interior room on the lowest floor, or a community storm shelter nearby. Have a bag ready with essentials in case you need to move quickly. If you are in a mobile home or temporary structure, make plans now to be somewhere safer before storms arrive. Do not wait until storms are on top of you to act. The tornado threat alone across these 3 days is serious enough to warrant early preparation. Stay connected to local news, the National Weather Service, and trusted weather sources for the latest updates as this situation continues to evolve rapidly. U.S. Storm Center will continue to track this outbreak and bring you updates as new information becomes available. Stay safe, stay weather aware, and share this information with family and friends who may be in the path of these